Good evening and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I'm Nadon Sirivardhana and we at our television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. Tourist arrivals surge in the first week of November. Government explores ways and means to uplift small businesses. Sri Lanka tourism makes a mark at World Travel Market 2024 in London. News in detail. Sri Lanka's tourism industry is seeing a strong surge this November with a remarkable start to the month. In just the first 5 days, the island welcomed over 30,000 tourists, marking a 38% increase compared to the same period last year. This is according to the data released by the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority recently. This brings the total number of visitors so far in 2024 to over 1.65 million, positioning the country within the reach of its annual goal of 2 million tourists. The daily arrival rate has also climbed significantly, now averaging over 6,100 tourists per day, a 40% jump from October. Sri Lanka tourism aims to attract nearly 200,000 visitors this month, and officials are hopeful, especially with the daily target now within close reach. Despite recent security advisories, key markets like Russia, the UK and Australia remain among the top 5 sources of tourists this month. India leads with over 7,700 arrivals, followed by Russia, Germany, the UK and Australia. Additionally, the return of charter flights from airlines like Red Wings, Enter Air and Edelweiss has provided direct access for travellers from Eastern Europe, further boosting the winter season's potential, which extends until March 2025. This upswing comes on the back of Sri Lanka's global accolades in 2024, including its latest title as the most desirable island by UK's Wanderlust magazine. National Geographic recognized the Pico Trail, and Forbes and CEO World magazine have also spotlighted Sri Lanka as one of the world's top travel destinations this year. The government recently addressed reports circulating in some local media that Sri Lanka's application for BRICS membership has been rejected. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has responded to clarify that these reports are misleading and inaccurate in an official statement released to the media recently. Sri Lanka has indeed submitted a formal application for BRICS membership following cabinet approval on October 7, 2024. Foreign Affairs Minister Vijay Herath has since reached out to BRICS members to express Sri Lanka's interest in joining the alliance, with direct support from President Anurukumara Dissanayake, who personally wrote to Russia, the current BRICS chair. The Russian embassy in Colombo has further affirmed that Sri Lanka's request will be considered alongside other nations' applications under Russia's leadership. Far from rejecting Sri Lanka's bid, Russia has welcomed the application, stating that all requests will be evaluated in upcoming consultations among BRICS nations. During the recent BRICS Outreach Summit in Kazan, Russia, attended by leaders and representatives from over 30 countries, Foreign Secretary Aruni Vijayawardena represented Sri Lanka. In line with BRICS goals to foster relations with the global south and promote a multipolar world order, Sri Lanka reiterated its commitment to join the alliance and the new development bank, the financial arm of BRICS. The summit underscored Sri Lanka's willingness to expand its network of partner countries to welcome more nations into its growing circle of cooperation. The Foreign Ministry clarified that Sri Lanka's application is being processed and ongoing discussions will determine the next steps. In a move to support small and medium enterprises facing financial challenges, the government held a high-level meeting to explore relief measures for these critical sectors. The meeting brought together officials from the Finance Ministry, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, and representatives of commercial banks. The discussions addressed the significant financial burdens SMEs face, particularly those tied to loan obligations. Currently, debt recovery processes under the Parate law are temporarily suspended for SMEs, but this measure is set to expire on December 15th. The government is considering further relief options to support SMEs beyond this date. To build an effective relief strategy, the CBSL, together with various commercial banks, working on compiling a comprehensive report detailing the loans taken by SMEs. Among the notable participants were CBSL Director of Bank Supervision, RRS De Silva Jayatilaka, Representatives from the Sri Lanka's banks associations and CEOs from prominent banks including Standard Chartered, Union Bank and the Bank of Ceylon. Now, the Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumarnayaka, met with officials from the Irrigation Department, National Water Supply and Drainage Board to discuss the impact of the Nilvala River's salinity barrier on the surrounding area. The meeting took place at the Presidential Secretariat recently. Officials highlighted that saltwater intrusion has not only compromised local farmland but has severely impacted the livelihoods of residents along the river. Responding to these concerns, Dr. Kumarnayaka called for an in-depth study led by the engineering department at the University of Peradeniya to determine if the salinity barrier is indeed exacerbating flood conditions in the region. The Secretary emphasized that restoring normal conditions for affected communities is a top priority. An action plan based on the University of Peradeniya's finding will guide the next phase of the intervention. Additionally, officials are preparing a proposal for necessary funding to address these flooding challenges in Mathura. Dr. Kumarnayaka also instructed the Irrigation Department and Water Supply and Drainage Board to work collaboratively on a structured, sustainable flood management plan to mitigate future impacts. Residents living along the Nilvala River has expressed concerns over the increased flooding and farmland damage due to the salinity barrier. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. Sri Lanka tourism made waves at the World Travel Market 2024 with an influential press conference that attracted over 84 leading UK travel media outlets. The conference at the WTM in London recently focused on bold, sustainability-driven strategy aimed at revitalizing the island's tourism sector. The UK market, which has seen a remarkable 46% year-over-year increase in arrivals, was highlighted by Marketing Director Dushan Wickramasuriya as a key growth driver. Representatives from Sri Lankan Airlines and the Sri Lankan High Commission discussed plans to improve air connectivity and strengthen diplomatic ties with the UK. Founder of the renowned Pico Trail, Miguel Cunat, shared plans to introduce exciting adventure tourism products to captivate travelers seeking immersive experiences in Sri Lanka's stunning landscapes. As a special gest of appreciation, the event concluded with a raffle draw where 7 lucky UK journalists won exclusive travel prizes, including flights and luxury stays from top partners like Sri Lankan Airlines, Jetwing, Mandara Hotels and more. The UK media response was overwhelmingly positive, with attendees pledging their support to promote Sri Lanka's sustainable tourism vision in British media landscape. Sri Lanka tourism has earned international acclaim at the 2024 World Travel Market in London, winning the Best Stand for Doing Business award among 183 competing destinations. This was presented by WTM and Reed Exhibitions UK Chairman Jonathan Hull to Sri Lanka Tourism Chairman Buddhika Hewawasam. The award highlights Sri Lanka's innovative approach to tourism, featuring an engaging stand that showcased the nation's cultural heritage, natural beauty and wildlife. The design created an inviting space for international business interactions, allowing key players from travel agencies, tour operators and hospitality groups to explore partnership opportunities with Sri Lanka's tourism sector. Chairman Buddhika Hewawasam said that the recognition acknowledges the beauty and richness of Sri Lanka and validates strategic efforts to position Sri Lanka as an accessible, desirable and thriving tourist destination. The award aligns with another recent recognition of Sri Lanka as the best island destination in the world at the Wanderlust Reader Travel Awards, reinforcing the country's appeal in the global tourism industry. Now, in an effort to reassure tourists and restore normalcy, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has requested the US Embassy to remove the security alert advising its nationals to avoid the popular tourist destination Arugam Bay. This alert, issued on October 23rd, warned of potential terrorist threats targeting tourist areas. Following the US alert, Israel's National Security Council issued similar warnings, urging Israelis to leave certain tourist spots in southern Sri Lanka. These developments led to enhanced security measures by the Sri Lankan government, which has since arrested 6 individuals linked to the security threats. Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath has now formally requested that the US Embassy reconsider and lift the alert. Defence Secretary Sampath Tuyakontha also visited the eastern province, where he received a briefing on the current security measures from local military and police officials. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. The National Innovation Agency launched the Global Innovation Index 2024 last week at the Institute of Policy Studies in Colombo, focusing on the theme Prioritizing Innovation in Sri Lanka's Economic Recovery. The event highlighted the critical role that a thriving innovation ecosystem can play in boosting Sri Lanka's economic growth. The Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe joined as guest of honor, underscoring the relevance of innovation in economic resilience. The launch introduced 2 key publications, the National Commercialization Guideline and IP into Rupees, which focused on IP-backed financing. A WIPO expert on IP finance, Michael Koss, highlighted the role of intangible assets in bridging Sri Lanka's $17 billion financing gap for SMEs, especially as sectors like tourism and textiles shift towards high-value, knowledge-driven growth. With a strong emphasis on collaboration among government, private enterprises and academic institutions, the NIA is pushing for a focused innovation strategy that aligns with the country's sustainable development goals. The 26th annual tax oration organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka in Colombo recently delved into the intricate dynamics of tax policy democracy and the rule of law. President's Counsel Dr. Shivaji Felix raised significant concerns about how Sri Lanka's tax practices may be overburdening taxpayers, potentially conflicting with principles of economic fairness. Dr. Felix emphasized the need for a tax system grounded in fairness and transparency, arguing that current practices may reduce citizens' spending power without clear benefits in return. A major focus of the address was on the rule of law, highlighting its essential role in fair taxation. This, he suggested, is critical for a tax system that fosters economic growth without placing undue burdens on citizens. He noted that while tax reform aims to support economic objectives and stability, constant changes can discourage foreign investment, creating an environment of economic unpredictability. As a part of the oration, the latest reports of Sri Lanka's cases on income tax from 2013 to 2023 was launched, providing insights into significant tax cases over the past decade. This publication builds on previous compilations dating back to 1972, offering tax professionals and academics valuable perspectives on evolving tax regulations in Sri Lanka. Dr. Felix concluded by emphasizing that tax systems should uphold economic justice and the rule of law to support long-term prosperity. Now, in response to the natural disasters that have impacted Sri Lanka throughout this year, the People's Republic of China has provided much needed financial support, contributing a total of approximately 30 million rupees to aid in disaster recovery efforts. The President's Media Division said in a statement released recently that this funding will go towards compensating families whose homes and properties were damaged. In addition to China's contribution, the Department of National Budget has allocated further financial provisions to the Ministry of Defence for home reconstruction. This support comes after it became clear that the 2024 budget lacked sufficient funds to address these urgent needs. To bolster recovery efforts, China has also committed material assistance worth 10 million yuan under their Emergency Humanitarian Assistance Program. Once these materials arrive, they will be carefully tracked and distributed to ensure maximum benefit to those affected. With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.